It turns out there's a button you have to click. There's a button you have to click to go live. I can chat with the one fella in here. I think I got it. Might be working. You want to talk about butts? I've seen a butt. I love knives. How are you doing, friend? I have no idea how close I needed to be to the mic for you to hear me. Magical. My wife is in the other room and she probably thinks I'm insane. Well, hello there, Brian F. How are you doing this morning? I don't know where you're at. It is morning where I'm at, technically. I assure you this will get way less awkward over time. This is my first live. This is my first time interacting with the chat, so I guess I apologize if it's awkward or weird, but there is always an adjustment period with this type of thing. Oh, what part of Michigan are you from? I am roughly 90 minutes north of Grand Rapids. And are you getting the same heat wave that I'm getting up here? It's a balmy 31 degrees at 12:42 p.m. or a.m. Sorry. I love knives. Thank you for giving me a try. It's been very awkward for the last uh, 43 minutes minimum. Michigan. Oh, 20 minutes north of GR. What are you, close to Rockford or Sand Lake? It's not too off. Oh, Kent City, Kent City. Yeah, that's not. I don't believe that's too terribly far from me. I'm just outside of Big Rapids. That's crazy, crazy. Well, I guess where are you from? I love knives. I mean, there's all of two of you in here, so you got my undivided attention. I suppose the next question would be, how's the audio? Really? Why? What the hell is this? What would reason would you have to be in Big Rapids? Are you enjoying the Oh, okay, that's logical. I for a moment there I thought maybe you were just spending a lot of time at Applebee's, or maybe you're a fair student. I don't fucking know. Missouri, warm 42. You see, I'm born and raised Michigan, and I fucking hate winter. Absolutely loathe it, and I'm fucking stuck. Exterminator, that's a neat job. I can see a huge need for an exterminator in Big Rapids. If I had to guess, it would be mostly for fucking bed bugs. We do, we do. The wife and I have been discussing a potential future move to Tennessee or Kentucky, the uh, the warmer parts of those states, to avoid the major snowfall. If we both know how to drive in Michigan, so I figure we'll be driving gods in those two states, and the cost of living is relatively low there. Yeah, yeah. I mean, you do get paid to kill, and you get paid to kill most of the time. I'm assuming things that don't need to be in people's homes. The ice is the worst. See, what I typically notice in Michigan is you get a huge snowfall. None of us want to shovel, so we all just walk and drive over all of it, pack it down, turns into ice underneath all the snow, and then when we have a big melt, we're all pissed off that there's a fucking inch and a half layer of ice, and we don't know why it's there, but we did it. We made it happen. But I personally I want to move more closer to bourbon country because that's another interest of mine and beyond the knives. Uh, yeah, you're kind of you got that 6 to 8 month period where you're really double dipping there, Brian. You can plow their driveway and then exterminate their bugs and hope that they can actually pay, especially up here when you're doing work in Big Rapids. That unless you somehow magically can accept bridge card. I don't know if you can tell I have some sort of animosity towards the area that I live. Is that I love knives. Is that a an average flow for you guys, or do you get colder and shittier weather? Oh fuck, I hate it up here, Brian. Fucking hate it. I when I was in my early 20s, I spent some time in upper Indiana, and that's about as far away from Michigan as I've managed to get in 43 years. And I mean, when I was between 1 and 2, my family lived in one of the Carolinas, the whichever one the military base is with the water lawsuit going on. And but I mean, I was too young to remember that, and it didn't fuck me up enough to get money for it. So what can you do? But as of right now, with our current situation, we're pretty tied to Michigan until we can figure it out. But we're working on it. The hardest part about trying to leave state is leaving important family behind. Oh, I love knives. Your yesterday temperature, I hate you. I hate you. In Michigan, when you hit 50, you're ready to crack out the shorts and t-shirts, and that's your apparel for that weather. It's even in Midwest Michigan, we're still technically kind of like a baby Canada, and even 50 degrees, we're just like, oh, it's a fucking heat wave. Get out your fucking shorts and your fucking slides. We're done. Yeah, we're waiting for late April, early May before we start actually getting to enjoy some outside time without being too cold. Oh, fuck your video. I hope my wife thinks I'm fucking crazy because she had no idea I was going to do this. Oh, where's, oh, jeez. See, the hard part about that is we're pregnant right now, and I'm the sole income. So being able to afford even a carpool to Blade Show is rough. I would love to go to a Blade Show and meet some of these people, some of you guys, and some of the creators in our specifically our small community in person. But uh, I'm gonna waste a lot of my vacation time when the baby's born in August. So I don't know, when is Blade even? Oh no, you're good. I love knives. I appreciate the heads up. Chat faster, you turds. Just kidding. Oh, as I'm listening to an old Seth Stevie Satisfaction video, I guess that does bring up an interesting point. Since I've only got two of you here, so it's a very easy demographic. Um, how do you feel about the Liang Ma thing versus, if you're aware, how Adrian from Damn Designs handled his shitty pre-order a couple last year, a year and a half ago, June. Oh, see, I don't know. That's maybe we'll have to talk more about it towards that time and see if I can actually swing it. I don't know though, and I don't know why I randomly put on a Canadian accent there for a second. Oh. I appreciate you two guys wanting to hang out for this relatively awkwardly. Does that make it better? Awkwardly angled and whatever live. See, I love knives. I actually like Liang Ma shit the bed, I think, and then he immediately tried to rectify it. Whereas Adrian just started randomly fucking refunding people because they emailed him inquiring as to what was going on. And I was in both of their Facebook groups, and Adrian was really shitty. Liang Ma just did his video and his Instagram post, and that he was backtracking within a day. Adrian fucking doubled down, and he's like, "No, if you message me, you're getting a refund, and fuck you." Yeah, I get this weird thing once in a while where I uh especially when I'm a bit uncomfortable, I'll slip into a weird Indiana accent with my Michigan accent, which turns into a weird Canadian or East Coast accent. I don't know. Uh, see, the thing is, though, as I read the crackhead comment, is yes, we all know that Jared has had his what's the word I'm looking for? His dark past, and we all know that he's recovering and that he's kicking ass now. But we know that he has that side of him that has been there. But I don't think that that's what Liang Ma meant. I think what he was really going for was just the shock value of saying that you're just acting all crazy. But because of Jared's past, it really hit home and hit a nerve with a lot of us who knew that Jared had had that past, and his drug of choice was obviously heroin, as he's admitted right on stream. So I don't feel bad saying it. And if he wants to fight about it, I guess I'm sorry, but you made it known, so we know. But I don't think that Liang Ma knew per se that that was his past. Oh yeah, no, Brian. When he was doing the pre-orders for all of the those mini ones, when he did the XL releases of the Anzu and the Jin and all that, those they got QB kept pushing him back, and when people got irritated, they would email him. Well, he got irritated eventually of people asking for updates because he wasn't exactly the most communicative. Uh, he just got pissed off, made a shitty post on Facebook in his group, and when people started messaging after that, he was just saying "fuck you," not literally, but he was just refund. He would refund their thing and not send them their knives, which is why there's a slight bad taste in my mouth about his Kaiser release. It's I'm not a Tanto fan personally, but that's just because I still struggle sharpening Tantos. personally, so I don't personally want a Tanto, but I mean, that's something I need to work on. But, even seeing that release, it's the same if you go look at his design for the Kaiser, and then go to his website and look at every single one of his knives, and it's the same exact tired handle design, and it's just bulky and clunky and, eh. It's like you've got a cool theme with your name and your blade design names, but you're just recycling one handle with 7 different knives, and it's boring. Oh, yeah, no. I love knives. It was a huge joke in other groups, like, people were immediately people were actually going and canceling their pre-orders, and then other people that own knives were like, "I gotta sell my knife, emailed Adrian, I'm canceled," so they were trying to sell the knife. But he's fighting through it, I guess, which, I mean, I guess good on him for being able to get a collaboration with Kaiser, but I just don't know. It just looks it's his designs are boring. Like, they were exciting when they first came out, but his Anzu and Jin and Ghoul, the flippers are too big for the top flippers. They look ridiculous. They're silly. The handles are all almost identical. You can actually there's like at least 3 or 4 different models, totally different models, but you can blade swap between them because the handle's exactly the same. He just put a different blade in it. It's boring, and they're too big and they're too clunky, and it's just the the dark side evil theme was kind of interesting to me at first, but then once I handled a couple of his knives, I was it's just too bulky. Yes, yes, the ergonomics kind of suck. I mean, they're very neutral, but they're very big. Yeah, I won the Basilisk, I think it was the Flipper Tanto. Now, I will give him this on his Tantos that he designs for his own company. They're very chisel-esque, so that leads to an easier sharpening. However, they still get boring and they're tired. The blade grinds they're just so thick. They're thick behind the edge. I guess if you wanted one it's a good working knife. It's a good heavy use working knife. You don't want thin slicey. I'm cutting down cardboard and opening packages. I'm cutting wood. I'm processing branches. Whatever you might need a hard use knife for, that's probably what they're better for. But for the basic, just what 85% of us really use our knives for, it's it's too thick, it's too bulky, it's not great. Yeah, yeah, they're very big in the hand. They're tall, they're thick. The his his branding is what's interesting. The whole if you look at his blade names and stuff like that, they're all some sort of demonic figure in some sort of theology. I found that to be very interesting, which is why I was into it at first. But his original minis, they're a bit too small and awkwardly shaped to be very functional, and they're still very tall and thick, and blade grinds are too thick for the size. I think he's might be onto something, but he needs to slim it all down a bit in one way or another. It's been so long since I have had a damn design. I don't remember how my detent was. I pre-ordered the clip point or yeah, clip point XL, and I had the Basilisk that I had won in a contest on Everyday Blades, and I kind of dug it, but at the same time, needless to say, I don't have any of those. Actually, the XL of the gin, it was. I was so disappointed in that I sold it within 10 minutes of opening it when I got it. Yeah, I like big knives too, but that was big in all the wrong ways. His designs are big in all the wrong ways. If he made his blades thinner with a more profound or just a more unique scale design, I'd be way more into it. But if you can if you look at his blades, his knives, if you look at his knives, you can look at the scales and see exactly which 4 or 5 ones you can swap the blades and they will fit in other models' handles because he just uses a lot of them. He just uses the same handle and just redesigns the blade. So it's very, very lazy. And I think that his dip into the fidget world was very uninspired as well. Like his EDC, like the only thing he's really got going for him, his most interesting aspect of his designs are his beads. His Pac-Man and all that he does, those are the most interesting things that he does. And those are actually, I believe, the most desirable things that he does. All of his all of his fidget toys are too bulky and shittily thought out. It's the Pac-Man stuff. His the Pac-Man and the ghosts. That's the best thing he's got, I think. See, and that's the aspect where he's going to hit a different demographic. Brian is the demonology. That's where he's going to get other people. It's where he's going with that. It feels like he's going to hit that demographic of millennials that are in between gas station knives and decent low end knives, but they still want to wear raver pants and leather trench coats. That's where I think his demographic is lying, where he's at now. Jeremy, the owner of EDB, the creator, I you know I don't want to shit on somebody whose site I used to sell sometimes, but Jeremy Howard, if I'm going to be honest, he seems like a shill, and he seems like he's just trying to use his Facebook page to grab money somehow. Because he created a website that was similar to NAFSA, but it was a paid membership to even use the fucking thing. Oh yes, no, he rubs me the wrong way. I'm 90% sure I can just be honest right now because I doubt he'll ever see this. But he's very contradictive in some of his shit because he'll say, "Oh, don't post this, don't post this," but he'll have posted that trying to sell his own knives because he's an entry level knife maker himself. So when he was posting stuff saying, "Don't post this, don't post that," but he's guilty of doing that himself. Then he creates his own knife sale webpage where you have to pay to be along to it, and it's the holding system. It's like you pay, we hold, then we pay this person, blah 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 blah. And he made it very convoluted. He made a really crappy version of NAFSale 8 months before NAFSale came out. I don't hear a single thing about his website, but NAFSale is booming. And his YouTube videos, because I'm getting a bit more specific about my taste, so I followed his YouTube because to enter some of his contests, or actually most of his contests now, his giveaways on his Facebook group, you have to follow and like his YouTube. And it all just seems like, look at the fancy thing that I managed to get. And then I'm just looking at his stuff and thinking, didn't we pay for this as the consumer? We're buying your product. We're paying. Like, I didn't personally, but I'm just as a umbrella term. You know, you have your loyal fucking idiots paying for your shitty fucking knife sale service and doing this and doing that and donating to your YouTube just to show, oh, hey, look, I magically got a fucking Shigorov or Arius this week. Oh, we bought you a Shigorov or an Arius this week. Okay. And that's what I feel like is he's just shilling himself to be able to upgrade his personal collection. I don't anymore. I don't anymore. I rarely go to his website. Once in a while when I'm looking to sell some shit that I don't, or like if I want to sell my raccoon, like my Voss State raccoon, I'm not interested anymore after all the stuff, especially after what happened with Lacey. I don't even want it in my collection anymore. And then I've got this micarta mini. What the fuck is it? CRJB, the popular one. It escapes me now. Not the Scoria, the other one. But those, I'll go to his site and I'll put those up there and try to sell it to them guys. Anybody in there who's interested in buying shit like that. But when I go to Maddie's, I mean, I did try to trade it in Maddie's Discord, but that was more of a joke because of the Vosteed thing. But or if anybody's interested, if they want to know bad enough, they'll trade. But I'm not gonna sell for money. I'll trade you. But oh yes, no, I definitely want to. I would like to upgrade my raccoon from a raccoon to a pyrite because the pyrite seems like a much better made blade. I have spent literally hours inspecting the raccoon, trying to figure out what the issue was with the raccoon. And what I noticed is if with the blades closed, if you shine a light in there where you can see a 1 millimeter gap between the plunge and the actual the tang stop. And if you open it, well, if you take the blade apart and look at the actual design of the open stop in the tang, there's maybe a half a millimeter, a half a centimeter, whichever one's smaller, where the actual plunge pin touches the tang. There's like, virtually no connection between the plunge pin and the actual tang. I don't know how to tell who's here. I think it's just you and Brian. See, I can't send my raccoon back. Before we realized there was a problem with it, I never I spine whacking a blade is not something that ever occurs to me, so I didn't think about it. Um, but I took the stop pins out or the thumb studs out, and I cut a pill-shaped hole in mine. So mine has a pill hole instead of studs now. Well, who the hell else is here? Make yourself known, dickhead. See, I don't know if you follow EDC and Lace on Instagram, but she I don't even know if she sharpened it. I don't know the details per se, but I know she was holding it and she only used 2 fingers and pressed on her blade on her raccoon, and the lot gave out and slammed on her knuckle. And to the average person, that was an ER trip, but she's a fucking monster apparently, and she just stapled it shut herself. She had her own medical stapling kit, and she just stapled it shut. But I saw both videos, and that cut was beastly. Made it kinda made me a little nauseous to see it. Oh, well, they're turds. Yeah, no, EDC and Lace cut herself real bad. Like, you can almost see the bone in her knuckle, how bad she cut herself on the raccoon. So, like, I was willing to ignore it because my personal raccoon has mainly been for just fidgeting and opening envelopes once in a while. But I feel like maybe beyond their kitchen knives, I might try out some of their kitchen knives just because you can't fuck up a kitchen knife. But, their folding knives, their button locks, I think I'm done after seeing her video. Deep is an understatement. Ron Jeremy himself couldn't have fucking bottomed out in that thing. Yeah, like, I'm actually I spent some time the other day trying to clean up my, because I didn't do the greatest job because I cut the hole out myself. So I was trying to clean it up, but I'm thinking I'm gonna go in their Facebook group because everybody's hungry for it. Their fanboys are fucking die hard. Like Medford or fucking Hinder are fanboys. You know, they can't do any wrong. So I'm thinking about going in there and just putting it up there for 30 and, just taking a loss on it. I'm gonna have to check that out, Brian. Check out some more. Uh, but yeah, no, because I mean I know that's mainly their only one that's failing. And the disappointing part to me is it's actually the guy who designed the lock for the Kaiser original is the one who helped design the lock for the raccoon. And that's disappointing right there. They gave away so much. They sacrificed so much to try to fight button stick that they made a dangerous product, and nobody knew until it was too late. Wow, that seems really weird that as a review type video or short that they could, copyright strike you for that. Uh, that's a personal opinion review type short. That's your video, your personal property. I feel like they can S your D and fuck off. Well, yeah, because they're fucking connected to Kaiser. And actually, I was looking at the, 'cause I have a growler, and I was looking at the growler clip, and I fucking hated the growler clip. And it's really similar to the Vosteed clip on the raccoon. So I feel like Vosteed and, what the fuck everyone else I just said? Uh, shit, Shieldon. I feel like Vosteed and Shieldon are connected to Kaiser somehow. Like, are they the OEM for, like, shitty budget Chinese knives too? With, like, really crappy clips? Yeah, and I was dinking around trying to figure out of my humble collection what clips would fit the growler so I could replace the clip, and I messaged Lefty when I found one, and he laughed at me. He laughed at me, and I don't blame him, but, I found out that the basic uh, QSP Penguin clips. If you take it out and use their hardware, they'll fit on the Devo Growler. And the shitty part is, it's a better clip. In and out of the pocket, aesthetically, everything. Even though you've got mushrooms growing under the shade, it's a better clip. But I've also know that he doesn't, he's not happy with what Shieldon did either. They're looking for a new OEM for the next run of growlers. They're gonna go with a different OEM, so the next run of growlers will be something totally different technically. It'll be the same shapes and shit, but it'll be different construction quality. Oh, yeah, no. I know. I'm having been in the vape world for as long as I have, over 10 years, um, Shenzhen Shenzhen, Industry District is a huge co manufacturing and cloning industry. Um, they all work together. There's, there were certain vape products I know that you could buy as clones that were actually proven to be just, factory seconds of actual name brands that you're getting for a third of the price. I'm 100% sure the same thing goes on in knife industry. You can go on AliExpress or well, more likely AliExpress than Wish because Wish is like the bottom of the rung. But you're going to be able to, like, some of these knife clones that you're going to get, if you're into that, are going to be just uh, factory seconds, thirds. They didn't meet QA standards, so we'll sell it as a clone. It's the exact same fucking knife you'll get, you know, but it's just didn't meet the quality standards of the actual designer. See, the thing of it is as far as like failing a spine test is like I never ever would have thought about doing a spine test on a button lock until Vosteed, until somebody did it with a Vosteed. Like my raccoon, I have to spine whack it actually relatively hard to get it to fail. A lot harder than a lot of the videos you're seeing other people do. That's how I have to really give her some gas to get it to fail. And I can try to close it like a slip joint and it'll hold. But however, randomly earlier, I tried to do it with just the 2 fingers like Lacey said, but I didn't hold my fingers over the path of the blade. I hold the side of the scales because I don't wanna cut myself, and I got it to fail once, but usually if I just try to close it like a slip joint, it'll hold all day. But, it's just at this point for me, it's the principle of the thing. I just don't want it in my collection. See, and that's if I can't get rid of it, it's a fidget toy at best. That's the thing, it'll just be a fidget toy. Maybe I'll cut some envelopes. I'm personally most of my all my folders really, 90% of the time, I'm just opening packages, boxes, or envelopes with mine, and I'm not really a hard use guy per se. I have a large enough fixed blade collection that I haven't shown on Instagram a lot of really, that if I need a hard use knife, that's what I'm gonna go to instead. Most of my folding knives are just for status and for clout. For clout. You know what? And the micarta steel or whatever it is, the steel pyrite with the micarta inlays, that one looks real spectacular, really. And my feelings on CRJB are pretty hit or miss. Like I got this feldspar. I got a mini Feldspar because, it's one of the basic entry level knives to get, so I finally got one to check out, and it's got lock sticks so bad you can hear it, and I'm torn between selling it and just hoping that it breaks in. Yeah, there's been I've actually been interested in the newer Kershaws, but I look at what I know I'm into and where my collection's going, and I just don't see myself picking up a Kershaw. The, Damascus versions of, the Pyrite or the Iridium? Oh, yeah, man, I could make you a video. You can hear mine when it disengages. I even took it apart and bent the lock bar out, like, weakened the detent, and it still does it. And I keep looking, and there's no oil on either surface, so it's not oil. Yeah, I feel like actually, in all reality, Kershaw has is stepping up their game this year, it looks like. It looks like they're doing more work with Kershaw than they are with ZT, to be honest with you. I would Yeah, Parker's a good one to go to. My, uh my 2nd, Forest came from him, and he did work on that before I bought it, and it was amazing. It was a really, really good acid etch with a stone wash, uh, but, life happens, and I had to get rid of it to pay some bills, but yeah, he does really good work. Maybe I'll look at it and, check it out. I can't really To be fair, I can't really stay in the high-end stuff for very long, but okay. So here's my standpoint. Like, you've got Medfords, which I feel like kinda look like they're very they're very blocky and utilitarian, maybe utilitarian is not the word, but they're very thick and they're very blocky and they're very stylized, and, to me, that feels like the biker that's got money. That's his knife, and then you've got your, uh, Hinderer, which is, which is like the biker who's got money but also like style, and then you've got ZT, which is like the next step down from that, I think, and as much as I keep seeing Hinderers, like people's personal Hinderers, oh, they've got, this aftermarket micarta that they fucking have patinaed the shit out of, and it looks gorgeous. So I'm like, "Oh, maybe I'll think about a Hinderer," and I'll go look at Hinderers, and I just look and look and look, and I'm like, "This I don't like it." The fucking Hinderer flipper tab to me is a deal breaker. I fucking hate it. And they don't offer any other opening, maybe some thumb studs here and there, but it's like, I just don't for the price, I just can't get into Hinderer. And ZT just feels like they're fucking decades behind everybody else now. Yeah, see, the thing of it is, I think is, that 50 to $200 mid-range that we got here in folders, there's so much good stuff going on in there that these people like Bearded Gear with the Avant. You're charging too much. There's too much other really good stuff. I can get a button lock version of a fucking Tucson that's almost exactly your fucking design that has a button lock, and it seems better. You give me the fucking Avant at like 250, then I'm in. Yeah, I can see Chavez is as long as you're getting the actual Chavez and not that Iotectic version, that's probably pretty good. The that I all those Iotectic knives, I was in for a second, and then I started looking at the materials, and I was out. I was out immediately. I'm like, you're not gonna charge me that much money for fucking D2, a half-ass version of your design. Yeah, yeah. See, that's what I thought about doing is trying to go cheaper and going with one of the ZT hinders, and that way I've got both. But even then, I was just like, eh. Oh, yeah, the 229s is that's a good one. Sometimes I have a rough time trying to decide though because a lot of these high-end knives are frame locks, and I'm a lefty, so it's like, you gotta hope. You gotta buy frame lock and hope that there's a place to grab it to open it. And I keep waiting for EMP to put out a legit, a real sheep's foot and not a modified sheep's foot in a larger size. I want the nimble with a real sheep's foot, or even a fucking a step between a sheep's foot and a Warncliffe. And I'll go ahead and say it right now since there's only two of you fucking paying attention. If you watch a lot of these people, our content creators, if you watch a lot of them when they're talking about Warncliffes and sheepfoot, a lot of them are fucking saying the wrong fucking thing. They're calling sheepsfoot Warncliffes and Warncliffe sheepsfoots and shit like that. Now watch, somebody's gonna find my video, see it, and call me an asshole. And I'd like to thank you two for hanging out with me right now because I can tell just sitting here talking to you guys, I'm getting a lot more comfortable with this. So I appreciate it a lot. Thank you. And actually, speaking of that whole Warncliffe sheepsfoot thing, if you want the perfect blend of a Warncliffe and a sheepsfoot, just kind of pick up most of the fucking Boxing sheepsfoots, and they're kind of halfway points anyway. Like your fucking Biblio and yeah, your Biblio, anything like that. If you look at a lot of the Voxnet stuff, like when he says it's a sheep's foot, it's like a hybrid between a sheep's foot and a fucking Warncliffe. It's just I like Voxnet's designs so much, but I I I kept trying Giant Mouse. I've had two fucking Biblios, and part of me wants another one, but both the ones I had, the fucking action was shit, and the fucking centering, I could never fix it. Oh, but both the ones I had were my card out. I haven't tried any of the more expensive ones. So far, the only one I haven't had a real complaint with was the GMFM1 fixed blade. Actually, no, I do have a complaint about that too. It's a little too small. It could use a fucking finger twirl. Oh, I've owned three 5.5s, and I've had two different micartas, or no, yeah, I've had two different micartas and a titanium. and they were all 3 oh, no, I've had a micarta, a titanium, and a brass, and they were all amazing. I will and I'm still upset that I had to sell one. I had to sell all 3 of them at different points. That's another one I would really like to get back in the collection. There yeah, exactly. You know what your definition of a blade is, and you make that call for yourself. Yeah, no, it's, the F.5 5.5. The only real complaint I actually have about that, the F5.5 is, the finish oil is a bit small, which is, with a little, Dremel work and some ingenuity, if you're confident or sending it off to somebody who knows what they're doing, you that's easily fixed. But yeah, all 3 of them that I had were great. The action was amazing, especially once you drop the piston. Actually, even the stock bearings were still amazing, but, skips were actually relatively unnecessary now that I think about it. I the No, I haven't seen the IBL. The last one I saw for CRKT from Vox was the clip point, uh, Pilar, which I'm actually interested in just because 'cause I'm a big fan of the Pilar. I'll tell you, skiffs are, they're a godsend in some knives and useless in others. Some knives are so well designed that their stock bearings are just fine, and some knives the fucking skiff will completely fix. Like, I put a set of skiffs in my M-Cam and Sanzo, and they made no difference whatsoever. I just pirated them, took them back out, and put them in my, Stout. Well, a light detent is if you're ballsy, it's easy to fix. Like, I'm not afraid to buy a knife and fucking bend the lock bar if I need to. Looking up that, LBI. Oh, it's not for me. I don't like the I don't like the, LBI. I don't like the, karambit hook on the end. I'm gonna sound like a jackass here, but what was your YouTube again? Is it Ryan F? I'll I'll go through and look at some more of your videos. I feel stupid because I know I literally just watched one of your fucking videos where you were cutting all those boxes up in your front yard. Yeah, I love knives. I'm not really gonna be excessively long for this world. My wife shut the bedroom light off, so I'm sure she's ready for me to come to bed too. Yeah, I'll have to go through and check it out, but, I think I'm gonna have to take a page out of the book of I Love Knives and head off to bed, man. I really appreciate you guys hanging out with me tonight. Okay, yeah. Yeah. I'll check out your, I'll check out your video. Oh, fuck, I lost it. I fucked up. Well, that brings some really weird shit up. Oh, fuck, I'm gonna have to copy it. Shit, that's not the right thing either. Oh, I'm fucking up left and right. All right. I love knives. I'm 99% sure I already follow you and watch your videos. I typed in bdigs underscore 74 and it brought up some weird shit. Which is odd because I know I fucking follow you. Yeah, there you are. Oh, it's yeah. Okay, here you go. I found you, Brian. Oh, no problem. I love knives. I fucking, especially within that little Discord community that we've got there, I really try to follow and participate with everybody. But Brian, yeah, I'll check out your video on the LBI probably tomorrow. I'll leave your page open so I'd remember to look. All right, I'm gonna cut this off, guys. Thanks for coming in. Thanks for hanging out with me. Oh yeah, for sure. Let me do that real quick. There you go. All right, guys. All right, fair enough. Thank you. All right, have a good one, guys. Thank you very much.